Now, learning for lasting peace is the theme of the 2024 International Day of Education, with the United Nations setting aside every 24th of this month to celebrate the role of education for peace and development. This year's message emphasizes that must be a transformative process enabling learners to gain essential knowledge, values, attitudes, skills, and behaviors, thereby empowering them to serve as catalysts for peace in their communities. For more on that, we're now being joined by UNICEF Country Representative for Nigeria, Cristian Munduate. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here on Newsday.
Thank you. Thank you to Newsday for the invitation and to speak about a very critical topic today as education, a critical priority factor for lasting peace.
Absolutely. Let's begin with the theme for this year, learning for lasting peace. How impeccable and applicable is this to the Nigerian context?
Well, for the Nigerian context, we believe it's an urgent priority to look at. As you have placed in the news, security is a need for all citizens in the country. Security is tied to peace, and peace is tied to quality learning and education. So it is a sort of circle where if you don't have peace, you don't have education, and vice versa. If you don't have education, it's difficult to reach peace. In terms of the country's situation and the access of children to go to school, one of the main challenges, and mostly focused in the north part of the country, is the number of schools that have shut down due to insecurity. So in the past years, I would say from 2020 onwards, we have a total number of, during opening, closing, etc., but almost 11,500 schools who have shut partially or totally. As we speak today, we more or less have an approximate of 440 schools who are kept closed due to insecurity. This is something that urges to be attended, and there are means and there are ways to solve this problem. So one of them is, to really achieve the standards of the school safety initiative. That is something that is already being carried out by the education authorities, both at federal level but also at state level. In total, we have more or less 18 states who are adhered to the initiative, and they're trying to implement it. However, we did a study to, in a way, measure the level of accomplishment, of achievement in terms of the standards. And we found out that only 40% of the assessed schools really comply with the standards. So this is something that needs to be added as a priority among access to school and quality learning. The third one should be safety school in those geographical areas where we know that school and education is forbidden for children due to insecurity.
Right. Thank you for that very insightful and thorough analysis of the situation of education in Nigeria, and of course some of the solutions that UNICEF is preferring. You've also mentioned how some of the solutions that UNICEF is embarking on are facing challenges. Can you elaborate further on the challenges that you're facing in executing your solutions, and what counter solutions need to be introduced in order for us to start reaping the benefits of the interventions that are being made by organizations like yours?
Okay, so first I would like to say that it is important to understand that not all the children that are out of school, they are out of school because of insecurity. So if we take the total number of children out of school, we will find out that it's almost 10 million children that should be in primary school that are out of school, and plus 8 million children that should be in junior high school that are not in high school. Part of the reasons for some children is security. However, as I said, for this total population, we have come along with the Ministry of Education with some alternatives, both to cope and try to bring education to where the children are if they cannot make it to school, and that is through distance learning. One of the tools we are using for distance learning is the Nigerian Learning Passport. Up to today, we have reached together with the authorities, both federal and in some states, around 750,000 children that do not have access to education. Now, this is a package that has several contents in all subjects, because it is important to have a very rich variety of learning materials in the package. And why? Because besides accessing to school, the quality learning still is pending. So children can have access to this. One of the main challenges to really scale up this initiative, of course, is access to this Nigerian Learning Passport, because we do need internet, for example, although you can use any simple mobile and you can subscribe, it's totally free. We are partnering with the private sector, mainly Int'l towers and HS towers, to where they have access, so they can also contribute in schools or in communities for these mobile and also access to the internet. But still, this is something that needs really to be expanded and scaled up. Of course, UNICEF doesn't have all the resources to provide all what is needed, and that is why we are really advocating, and we are working first with the government public authorities to place more budgets into education, mainly for the support of training teachers, the teachers. You know, along the years, there has been a lot of investments in trainings and courses. We have proven that through this mechanism, this methodology, really teachers are learning. This helps them prepare their contents, so this can also be applied in school. So the Nigeria Learning Passport is good for teacher training. It's good for students reinforcing what they're learning at school, because the children that are in school are also facing challenges. We have evidence that 3 out of every 4 children struggle to understand what they're reading and struggle to do just essential arithmetic operations. So the challenges are in school, and you can imagine the ones that don't go to school, basically they don't have access to anything. So this is also a mechanism to provide them an opportunity to learn. Of course, the learning won't always be at the same level as if they would be in school every day during their learning hours, but it gives them an entry, a preparedness, so that while we are doing this, we are also working to have access to school. And you know, that's infrastructure, that's on the government side. We basically don't do infrastructure. Of course, at times we support with access to water and sanitation in school, which is another challenge for children to keep at school, mainly for girls in the adolescent age, in puberty. It really is a challenge when they don't have a sanitation facility to use during learning hours. So I think it's a whole integrated package that needs to be addressed. As it is happening, but the scale of how it is happening, it is not enough. So basically, there should be an urge, there should be a need to accelerate in terms of the quality learning of children in the country.
Absolutely. Cristian Munduate, you've spoken very well, and we'd like to thank you for the insight that you've shed on this and for the good work that you're doing. I'd like to also say I've taken a look at the Nigerian Learning Passport, and it's wonderful. Thank you so much. Cristian Munduate is the UNICEF Nigeria country representative, speaking with us from our Abuja studio.